And then I'm just going to begin. Oh, Chris Beth just began recording. And then, yeah, that's really it.
Awesome. So I'm going to go on to the IG, Tanya. You probably see me shortly. Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. We are super excited. We're having our very special guest join us momentarily. We're having our very special guest join us momentarily. So Tanya, you may want to mute once you come on live. Mute on your computer. I think that would avoid the echo. Awesome. I see that you are here. Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. Loud and clear.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is really cool.
Yeah, so we get double action. So folks, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. I see lots of people on IG already. We're just getting ready to launch the program on Facebook, and we will get started. Awesome. So good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Beth. I am the founder of Empowered Facts and the host of Bizgrams. We have the privilege of connecting with dynamic entrepreneurs to learn about their entrepreneurial journey, the people that they're serving, the difference that they're making in the community, in the hopes of inspiring you, the audience, and an opportunity to learn and potentially connect with them. So welcome to Tanya this morning. How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much. So Tanya, tell us a little bit about yourself and your entrepreneurial journey. Who or what inspired you into law?
I think where I could start off, I mean, I'm a lawyer, I'm a trial lawyer. I practice commercial litigation, which means that if people are in disputes, financial disputes, they come to me and I try my hardest to help them settle. But if we're not able to settle, then I go to court. I'm a trial lawyer. I've been a lawyer for 15 years. And how I kind of started off with my entrepreneurial journey is I practiced at 2 Bay Street firms, and I found I wasn't treated very well. And due to gender, due to race, and even class sometimes, I'm the first person from my immediate family to attend law school. And so I don't have parents. My parents didn't attend university, so I don't have parents that come from that kind of world. And so sometimes I felt like I had to deal with different levels of discrimination. So I just thought to myself that the job is hard enough in itself. It's very stressful. I just want to focus on doing the work. So I just focused on learning, and then I built up a client base. I opened this firm about 11 years ago, and 99% of the clients ended up following me. So I was really grateful for that. And I mean, my parents, especially my mother, they encouraged me to be an entrepreneur. My mother always said, you know, you're bringing in work, you're doing all the stuff is expected of you. You're playing the golf, you're doing the boards, you're doing all these things. So what is there really, like, what benefit is it to work in a firm, because you're kind of doing this on your own? So I'm really grateful to both of my parents pushing me to open my own firm.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing that story. And, you know, I think sometimes from adversity, you know, the unearthing, and, you know, you decided to step out on your own with the encouragement of your family, which is really powerful. So talk to us a little bit about litigation. You know, someone who may be looking, not familiar with the terminology, what does that look like, and who would be an ideal client?
Well, the clients range. Like, we represent individuals, small and medium businesses, but we also represent Fortune 500 such as PayPal. I represent them across Canada. And so what happens, there's different there's different areas of litigation you can specialize in, and we specialize in property, employment, and contracts. So, for example, a contract dispute would be, or an employment dispute would be, you work for someone, you're supposed to be paid a certain amount, and you're not paid, and you ask them to pay you, and they decide not to. So you may come to me and say, Tanya, can you help me get my money? And so I would, issue a demand letter and ask for the money. But if not, then we would start a lawsuit and go through that process to get a court order from a judge for you to get the money that you deserve.
Hey, that's wonderful. I know one of the things that you're really passionate talking about is being the first elected bencher in Toronto. So do you want to talk to us about that experience and what does that mean? You're definitely the first, but not the last, hopefully. So talk to us a little bit about that experience.
I mean, one of my mentors, I met him when I was just going, like at the gym in my spin class, and he was a bencher 4 times. So how it works is the Law Society is like the governing body for lawyers and the public. They help protect the public. It's been around for around 224 years. And every 4 years, there's usually an election. There's a number of benchers who are appointed, but the majority of benchers are elected by other lawyers. So you need to have some name recognition to get those votes. And so my mentor mentioned that I should run, and I thought to myself, this is not really formal. It's usually someone very senior, older white guys usually, but someone very senior. And I wasn't. It was around 2015 who told me about it. So I said, okay, well, I'll run, and because I thought there was a need for change. I thought there was a need for diversity to be seated at the table, because I would think that some people might only understand my experience if I share it with them, right? If they're open. So I thought to myself, why not share, put myself in a position where I need to be shared. So I just thought, go ahead and run, and have my mentor serve as my campaign manager, and he did. So I was really, really grateful. And so I was elected in 2016, and I ran again in 2019, and I was elected again. So I was the first Black female bencher elected from the council. And now there's another Black female, a half Black female bencher from council as well. And I just hope more decide to run and are seated at the table. And now there are Black female bencher, but I just hope more run and are successfully to affect change.
Hey, that is really powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that experience. And I love the role that your mentor played, that encourager, supporter. One of the things that we talk in the entrepreneurial community here is really finding those key persons in your network, your circles, to mentor you along the journey. So it's really great to see how that live experience played out. And as you said, you've been able to open up additional, create a space for more, to inspire more people of color, which is super exciting. So talk to us a little bit more about your entrepreneurial journey. What challenges have you experienced along the way, and the lessons that you've learned from those?
Well, I mean, I had a firm, I opened the firm 11 years ago, and some challenges that I've had along the way, there are many, but I mean, one recent example is late last year, I had to attend the court physically. And so when I arrived there, you have to sign these COVID forms. And the staff, they just assumed that I was working for a judge. They didn't assume that I was a lawyer. And so that's sometimes I get mistaken for any other roles other than what I actually do. Even when I work with one of my junior lawyers, sometimes who are male, sometimes it's assumed that I work for them instead of the other way around. And I can't really blame people sometimes, because they're just not used to seeing people like me in this role. So it's great to be in this role. So then it will open someone's mind to think, okay, well, you can have diversity in this in this profession, which is complex commercial litigation. And sometimes even when I appear before a client, with a client, they don't connect the Walker as being me. They just think, it's just a common last name, and I work for a male. Like, someone actually has said that to me. Like, I didn't actually think you were the creator of the firm. I thought that you were, you just worked for someone who was a Walker, and you guys just happened to have the same last name. So the problem with that is then you're treated differently because people don't see you in the role that you really are in. And so it's important to educate and let people know, there's different people can be, like me, could be in various roles, which includes being an owner of a firm, and it includes arguing in court, commercial litigation.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing that. And I can relate on so many physical court people come in and it's like thinking I am just the person who opens the doors. And I'm like, I'm the person that opened the door. So I can definitely relate in that sense. And I think one of the biggest things that the approach that you've taken is really saying it just gives you an opportunity to educate someone, to enlighten them that there are many roles that people of color, Black women can step into and be leaders in these spaces. So I think it is very powerful and positive in that respect as well. One of the other things around representation, having had the opportunity of working in schools, young girls in particular, Black women, Black girls, not really thinking that they can be in these roles. So I think over 10 years, so congratulations as well, being in this role and the visibility that you're just giving inspiration and hope to our young Black girls as well, to see themselves having that name on the business, having that name on the door, and inspiring other people along their journey. So that is really great. Thank you for that. So what would you say is, a great accomplishment or something that you're most proud of that you'd love to share with our viewers here today?
I think one of my great accomplishments that I'm most proud of is when I was in, I believe it was around my 5th year of practice, I argued a 3-week trial and we won. And it was really hard, working 16 to 20-hour days for about 3 weeks, 16 witnesses. It was really, really tough, but we were successful. So I'm really grateful for that. That's one of the accomplishments that really stands out in my mind, and just being able to bring justice for our clients. So that was a tremendous accomplishment that I'm proud of.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm curious, what lesson did you learn from that accomplishment?
Oh, I learned many lessons. So, I mean, it's a marathon. Being successful in life, or wanting to be successful in life, is a marathon. It's not a sprint. A lot of patience, a lot of preparation. When we go to court, I would say maybe 5% of what we do you actually see, like in terms of arguing, but 95% of it is preparation. A lot of stamina, because it's very stressful and the hours are very long. My days are very long. I work, many weekends, and but it's very important to put in the time, to be dedicated, to be disciplined, so then you can achieve the results that you're looking for your client, or at least try to achieve it, because things don't always go your way. But I think it teaches, it's just that experience taught me so much. And I'm also grateful for the clients to have faith in me and confidence in me, because some of my clients don't look like me at all, or have they're even my gender, and they believe in me. I'm also grateful for my team. We have some great people. You can't do things on your own. Like, you can't achieve success on your own. And I mean, one person who's been very helpful is Marley Annette. I see she's joined the live Instagram live, and she's very, very helpful, and makes, she helps coordinate, she helps keep me organized. And I really appreciate having her with our team, because if it wasn't for her, then I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So that was also a lesson, is when you do a trial that's 3 weeks, even if it's a day, it's sometimes challenging if you don't have the support of other people and your team to help you do what you need to do and get the job done.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful. And so talk to us a little bit more about your entrepreneurial journey in terms of, the way you are today. Have there been any books, resources, mentors that have helped you that you'd love to either recommend a book or give a shout out to someone who's inspired, helped you along the way?
Yes, I think actually, if you give me a second, I think the book is actually behind me. If not, there it is. So this is an amazing book. And I'm no way affiliated with this book. But I bought this book I'll move my finger so you can see it properly. So I bought this book in 2014. I read Essence magazine from time to time. And so it was recommended in the book. And so this book was recommended in the magazine. So I was really, it's called The Wealth Choice, Secrets to Success of Black Millionaires by Dennis Kimbrough. And what the book really is about is like, there's around 7 or so characteristics that he has found in Black successful entrepreneurs, essentially, or professionals. And he didn't really focus on entertainers or athletes because their careers are a little bit shorter. He focused more on people who are professionals or entrepreneurs where the length of time you put into your profession is a bit longer. And so to summarize it, he says like, people, and it applies to anyone, not just Black people actually, because I've recommended to some people that I mentor and who aren't Black. But he said like certain characteristics like drive and discipline, exercise, strong affiliation for family. These are certain characteristics that he has found that are common in the Black professionals or entrepreneurs that he studied. And also just one thing that stands out is how might I serve thee? Like it usually, these professionals or entrepreneurs, there's always an element of service. So maybe they volunteer or there's something that they do to serve other people. It's not just about, working at their craft. And it's also like believing in yourself when no one else will, because there will be times that people just may not believe in you or believe that you're capable or competent to do what you do. And I've had to deal with that many times. And you have to believe in yourself and your abilities when other people don't. And it's tough sometimes. It's not easy. But if I don't believe in my argument, how's a judge going to believe it? Like, how can I sell it to someone else or even if we don't end up in court in a mediation or a settlement meeting, if I don't advocate for myself or my clients, then who's going to do it for me? So it's really, really good. It's a good read, and I try to read this every single year since 2014. So I highly recommend it.
Hey, I love it. We'll definitely add that to the book list and share it out with our viewers as well. So thank you so much for that recommendation. Finally, is there any tips or advice you will give to an existing or an aspiring entrepreneur?
Well, yes, 3 tips I would provide. One is use your resources. So right now we're in an economic kind of downturn. It seems like things may change, but reach out to people that like it's really great to have like Instagram and Facebook and all these resources because they weren't really that popular when I opened the firm 11 years ago. So it's a great way to keep in touch with people and use those resources. One example that we did when the pandemic started was we did our own Walker Law kind of webinars where we educated the public about like property law, contracts law, employment. We partnered up with different people, different professionals to put on those webinars, which worked out quite well. And it helps your business get exposure, but you also help other people learn. So some things that I take for granted in terms of my knowledge of the law, some people just don't know. And so it was great to share what I know with other people. The second thing is you should also focus on improving your business. You could use this time to find out how to be more productive and efficient in your business. You might want to revamp your business plan or even review it if you haven't looked at it for quite some time. You might want to think about company policies. If you provide a service, how can you improve that service? Or if you provide a product, contact list pickup, just keeping up with the change in times, because some changes, the pandemic has gone on long enough that some changes that we have made are probably going to be permanent changes, right? So I argue quite a bit on Zoom. And even when the pandemic is over, and I mean argue in court on Zoom. So even when the pandemic is over, I don't think the courts are necessarily going to go back and say, okay, we want everybody in the courthouse, because it's so much more efficient. It saves the client money. So I don't have to worry about driving to different courthouses and parking, traffic. So just consider, even if you focus on improving your business in a pandemic, some changes are probably going to be permanent changes. And lastly, try to see if you can do your own market kind of research. Ask customers what they need. Sometimes when a client retains us because they were dissatisfied with their previous lawyer, I ask them, like, what didn't he or she do, or what did he or she do that you just didn't like? There's a reason why you made the change. And so we gather our own market research to find out what people really need from a lawyer, such as constant communication, updates, and to communicate in the way that they want us to communicate. Some people like to speak on the phone, some people don't. Some people like to text, some people like to email. So we have to adjust to be flexible based on what the client wants. And so you want a customer, a client, like hiring you, for that to be a permanent decision that is made, so they can be your client or customer for life, and they can tell other people about you, because word of mouth advertising, I think, is probably the best way of advertising. And so, and also think about building a relationship. And one thing I like to tell our team is, we treat clients the way that we'd like to be treated, right? If we've all probably experienced going to a restaurant and the food was great, but the service was poor, and then we think to ourselves, well, maybe I might not go back. And so, I mean, the delivery of the services, the end result is very important, but how you deliver it is more important sometimes. And people want to be respected. So that's very important, to just even take some time, if you can, and some customers that you have helped, ask them, what did you like? What didn't you like? Make it, we as Canadians are sometimes quite polite, and we don't like to complain. Give people permission to complain. And I always tell clients that, because I can't fix the problem if I don't know. So but you want to make someone comfortable about saying that I didn't like this, or I want this to improve. So I think those are some tips for business owners that have helped us and helped me with this business for the past 11 years.
Hey, that's wonderful. Thank you. Definitely would apply it. Note those down, and share those with our network as well. And for myself, as I'm entering year 2 of our physical space, I am very inspired, to be 11 years down the road having these conversations, something definitely wonderful to aspire to. So thank you so much for that. My final question to you is, what is something that you do in a fanatical way? And fanatical is my word. I don't know if you could add that into the legal words as well. But fanatical is fun and epic combined for great or small adventures that are memorable and impactful. So what is something that you do in a fanatical way to express self-love or to recharge? What do you say?
Well, I want to make sure, well, and congratulations on 2 years. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I want to make sure I understand the question. So what do I do to recharge, you mean?
Or express self-love in a fanatical way. So fun and epic. So it's memorable, it's inspiring. What is something that you do for yourself to express self-love?
Oh, okay. So what do I do for me?
Yes, for you.
Okay. What do I do? So what do I do for me? One thing that I try to do for me is that I exercise. And to me, it's taking care of my health. I think of it as an appointment with my health. And sometimes it's very difficult to do that, especially working maybe a 60 or 70-hour work week. But it's a me time. It's time to recharge. It's time to just, and it's very busy. Like, litigation is very busy. Married, have a 2-year-old. Life can be very busy. And I just find taking a little bit of time to exercise, boot camp, spin, run, whatever, it makes me feel kind of whole when I come back to the world and to work. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but that's what I really do to recharge and take some time to care about, like to love myself, because if I don't take care of myself, it's going to be hard for me to take care of my family, to take care of my staff, to take care of my clients. So that was something I didn't do in the beginning of practicing. I didn't exercise as much because I just kept on saying, I'm too busy, I'm too busy. But you have to make time to take care of you and take time to take care of your health, because it's so fundamental. And that's something that I've seen so much in the last year and a half, that you know, health is really, really important. And mental health is also very important, just as important or more important than physical health. And so for me, exercise helps me mentally and physically.
Hey, that's wonderful. And that was a great answer. So it's really, one of the things, and the reason why I asked the question, many entrepreneurs, it's busy. We get so caught up. So bringing it back to you, what makes you, feel centered, feel grounded, feel whole? And I think your example of, a spin or exercise in general is wonderful. So this has been a wonderful experience.
One more tip is, you might want to put that in your calendar like an appointment. And so what I do is I put an appointment, and I think of it as an appointment with my health.
Yes.
So I'm ready to skip it. But it's very hard.
Do you do it early in the morning or at the end of the day? When is the appointment with your health?
It's usually at the end of the day. I prefer the morning, but my brain works better in the morning. And that's the thing for entrepreneurs. You have to know when you are more productive and work with that. So usually when I start my day around 6 in the morning, it's just more productive. The emails aren't going in. I'm able to take care of legal work. And near the end of the day, I will take, when the emails are dwindling down, but our son is still at daycare, so he's not trying to stretch with me or run on the treadmill. That's when I take some time to exercise. It's fantastic. That's one of the good things with COVID. It's much easier and convenient now to exercise than it was before.
Hey, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. To tell viewers how they can get in touch to learn more about you, your story, and the work that you're doing at Walker Law.
Sure. I mean, our Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, it's all pretty much the same. Walker_Law. I think for Facebook, you might have to type in Walker Law Professional Corporation. And for me, it's Tanya_Walker Law, just one word. Our website is www.tcwalkerlawyers with an S. Again, that's www.tcwalkerlawyers.com.
Hey, that's wonderful. Tanya, I want to just say thank you so much for being with us today. From our team at Empowered Facts to your team at Walker Law, I'm sending you out with lots of love and positivity and blessings today and beyond. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
It has been fun and a pleasure. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. And that is our show. So Thank you so much. So you'll get the raw recording of the Zoom as well. And what we've seen people do is use it for their own, they pull out their sections and stuff and use it for their promotional stuff. You have the ability to use it as you see fit. One of the things that we're working on as well from the show is creating those like micro content as well. Anything that we create, we'll definitely share with you before it goes out. And we work as well as creating a blog post on this episode as well. So that will be shared with you once it's written as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we'll probably ask you, I'm sure Marley will ask you if we can post it on our Walker Law YouTube page.
Okay.
And if you do a blog post, would it be okay for you to hyperlink like my profile to the page, because our Google guy says that helps us with the Google.
Yes. So we once we do the first couple drafts, once I've kind of looked over it, I'll send it to you and your team, and you all could put in links and stuff that you want. Really, it's an opportunity to help with your SEOing as well. So that would be awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And yeah, we'll hyperlink it back to you as well.
Okay.
Or we'll share it. We'll share it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.